It's only me, and it is your next lesson on fractions. I've got a little helper with me today. Here is my daughter again, Emily. Say hello, Ems.
Hello.
She's going to help me and help us do some work on fractions and fractions as a set of objects. So on the screen, you can see three people. What do you reckon those three people are, Emily?
Chefs.
And why do you reckon they're chefs?
Because they cook things.
Maybe, yeah, you could be right. And they've also got a recipe. They're all pointing to a recipe, and they've got their chef's whites on. And the recipe is the toppings for each cake. So they're making a cake, and it says the toppings for each cake need 1/3 of a bowl of marshmallows, 1/5 of a bowl of peanuts, and 1/9 of a bag of chocolate swirls. And I can see, look at those bowls in front, Emily. Marshmallows, peanuts, and chocolate swirls. Making me quite hungry. And it says there are 30 marshmallows in a bowl. How many marshmallows are used on one cake? There are 45 chocolate swirls in a bag. How many chocolate swirls are used on one cake? And so this is when we're going to have to use our knowledge of fractions and also multiplication to help us here. So let's crack on. And remember, it's always good to try and do it before I go through the answers with you. So pause me at any point. Okay, let's go. So there are 30 marshmallows in a bowl. How many marshmallows are used on one cake? So what you really had to think about was that 1/3, and do you remember the difference, the words I use for fractions? It was a numerator and a, do you remember the word, Emily?
Denominator.
So close, denominator. So numerator is the number on the top and the denominator is the number on the bottom. Well done. So in 1/3, Emily, what's the denominator?
That would be...
What's the number on the bottom?
The 3.
Good girl. So the denominator is 3. And that means that you need to split your whole into 3 equal parts. Okay? So there are 30 marshmallows in a bowl, but you only want 1/3 of them. So you're trying to work out what 1/3 of 30 is. So on the board, you can see sort of some red dots, some red counters. What do you reckon, Emily, those red counters represent?
One of all of the marshmallows. Good. And the peanuts and the chocolate swirls.
Do you think they represent them all? What are we talking about at the moment?
8.
What's that?
30 marshmallows.
Yeah, we're talking about the marshmallows. So those red counters, there's 30 of them, and they represent the marshmallows. And then we've used a sort of bar model here, and we've split our bar model up into 3 equal parts because that's our denominator. We know it's 3. And then what we've done is we've moved each of those counters and put them into the 3 parts equally. So Emily is going to count for you how many are in this first section, in this first interval. So how many have we got, Emily?
2, 4.
Should we count in ones?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Brilliant. So 1/3 of 30 is what, Emily?
10.
Brilliant. So how many marshmallows do you need to decorate one cake?
10.
Good girl. And another way of writing that, of course, is 30 divided by 3. And 30 divided by 3 equals?
10.
Good, well done. So that's the answer to the first section. But then we had the other bit, and it said there are 45 chocolate swirls in a bag. How many chocolate swirls are used on one cake? And remember, the chefs were pointing at the recipe, and we needed 1/9 of the chocolate swirls for one cake. So what's the denominator? What's the number on the bottom in 1/9, Emily?
It will be the 9.
The 9, brilliant. So the denominator is 9. So that means there are 9 equal parts. And again, you should be able to see the bar model on the right-hand side here. So we've got 45, And we need to divide that into 9 equal parts. And this is another example, Willow class, of using your times tables knowledge, because some of you will know that 45 divided by 9 is, do you know what that is, Emily, yet? 45 divided by 9, don't worry.
5.
Oh, well done. Good reading. 45 divided by 9 equals 5. And therefore, a ninth of 45 is...
10.
Are you sure? A ninth of 45?
5.
Good, because a 45 divided by 9 is 5. So a ninth of 45 is 5. So how many chocolate swirls are used on one cake?
5.
5 chocolate swirls on one cake. I like the sound of this cake, Willow class. Right, well done. So now we're going to go through one more question together. And can you read it for me, Emily?
There are 48 children in a year group. What
does that say? 1 over 4.
1/4 of them.
Yeah, a quarter of them.
Of them are boys. How many boys are there?
Well done. And you can do this in different ways. So you can use counters, and on the board I've put counters up there. So in 48, how many 10s have we got?
4.
Good girl. And that's our 4 yellow counters. And in 48, how many ones have we got?
8.
8 ones. Okay, so, or we can use the bar model, and I quite like using the bar model. So I've shown that the whole is 48. Okay, so the whole of the year group is 48. But how many of them are boys again, Emily?
A quarter of them.
A quarter of them. So what's the denominator?
Denominator is
the number on the bottom.
4.
Good. So therefore, I have to split my bar model into how many groups?
4.
4. Brilliant. So let me show you how I've done that. So I've literally split my bar model into 4 groups. And what we can do, Willow class, and this is where some of us will do it slightly different, is you could use counters, and if you haven't got counters, use whatever you have at home. As I said, I don't know, what have we got lots of? Lego probably, or bits of pasta. Have we got lots of anything else? I'm trying to think. 48 of something.
Coins?
Coins, we might have 48 coins actually, but use whatever you have. So what you could do is you could move your bits of Lego, pasta, whatever you find, and you can share them between the 4 equal groups. And if you do that, you will find that you split the 1 10 and the 2 1s. So how many do each group have, Emily?
11.
Are you sure? What's 10 plus 1 plus 1?
11. 12.
Well done. It is 12. Okay. And so what you're looking at is, just remember 1/4. So 1/4 is 12. So a quarter of 48 equals 12. Another way of writing that is 48 divided by 4 equals 12. Okay, Willow class, I hope that makes sense. Have a go in your Power Maths books, 3B, or pages 143, 144, and 145. Have a good day, Willow class. Say bye.
Bye.
See you later. Take care.